Well, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over 5 changes that Diablo 4 should make to make the game better. And before we go any further, I get it. People are going to be like,
oh, just uninstall the game makes it better.
fine, have your jokes, blah, blah, blah. But I believe these changes could be made for the betterment of Diablo 4 and to make it better for the future. So let's get into it. The first change I'm going to talk about is more tempering options. Now, in the beginning of Diablo 4, I feel like they had a pretty good concept of how to make builds cooler with their tempering options. If you can remember, there was tempering options for the size of different skills. There's also the ability to double cast, extended duration of various skills and abilities. I think you can essentially add all of those things back into tempering and make it a lot cooler. Because right now it's just like attack speed, crit chance. Most people are taking crit chance on their weapons. Maybe you're going overpower stacks, crit strike damage. But a lot of it is just kind of like, really doesn't matter for the most part. I feel like they could add a lot more functionality to the way the skills and stuff play out. So that would be something I would be looking into adding for the game. The second change I would like them to add is to add the tempering as potential chances to get put on your gear through transfiguration. There's certain things like adding percent main stat. There's, obviously the skill gem, which is probably still broken. And there's some other things that transfiguring can add to your gear. But what if they had all the various temperings as an option to get added to your transfigured item? I think that'd be something interesting to add. Also, adding transfiguration that would allow skills to do additional elemental damage, to change how the skills function, or potentially change certain skills into other types of skills. For example, changing basic skills acting now as core skills, or core skills acting as basic skills, or core skills acting as ultimate skills. You get my point. There's a lot of variety that you could add that could make some really cool items and some really cool functionality. The third change we're going to talk about is changing the uniques. I know it's kind of a touchy subject with uniques. A lot of people want them to have static affixes, and everybody seems to have a different opinion on this topic. However, the one thing I think they could do to make uniques feel special is either have 5 different affixes on the unique or allow for double tempering. So if you're going to have 4 stat affixes on a piece of gear, then allow double tempering so you can temper physical damage, and you can temper crit chance, or something to that effect where you're adding multiple valued stats, valued affixes on gear. I think that would make uniques feel really cool in that way. The 5th tip we're going to talk about relates to uniques and mythics, and that is the occultist and enchanting. I would like for them to allow enchanting of uniques and mythic items to re-roll various affixes to something different. Since enchanting does cost quite a bit of currency as far as gold goes, I think it would be a valuable thing to be able to roll different properties onto uniques and mythics. I don't know if this would ruin the integrity of uniques and mythics, but I think it's better than allowing the cube to re-roll every single affix on a unique or mythic. I think it would just be better for the longevity of the game if they just allowed you to enchant uniques and mythics. I think it'd be cooler, and then you could potentially add more into, what can you enchant those items with and stuff like that. So, moving on to change number 5. Change number 5 relates to Infernal Hordes. I think Infernal Hordes needs a serious consideration of being reworked. The way that it currently is, you have 6 waves going up to 10 waves with the various currency. With the Infernal Hordes compass, it goes up to 10 waves. Way too much. Way too many waves. Essentially, what I think should happen is they should reduce the waves from 6 to 4, and at the top end reduce them from 10 waves to 6 waves, because I think 4 to 6 waves for Infernal Hordes is a sweet spot, and I feel like that kind of reduces the amount of investment that you're going to be doing for this activity. Now, I get it, escalation sigils do take quite a bit of time. However, I feel like Infernal Hordes, due to them being so long, it just makes them less fun to do overall. I can't stand seeing Infernal Hordes on my war plans, and it's just, I just don't like it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they increased the reward for Infernal Hordes. I just still don't want to do it, and I would rather just roll a new plan and hope for the best. In addition to reducing the amount of waves, I think essentially they need to increase the amount of ether that you get from the rounds. I think it should be about like 25% of the chance of the time that you are going to the end of Infernal Hordes that you're facing Bartok, or maybe even like 15%. Like, you don't want to, you shouldn't, maybe you shouldn't be doing it every time. I don't know. That's up to the devs. That's up to the team overall and what they want to do. But I think just juicing the amount of ether that you get from the rounds would help it feel better overall. And yeah, I think it just would be better from there. All right, those are my 5 changes that I have for Diablo 4 to make it better. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree with any of those changes or all of them? Like the video, comment down below, what would you change for Diablo 4 to make it better? Subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. See you, goodbye.